Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today we are going to be discussing Joseph Parker versus Joyce. This is a real 50-50 fight and a very hard one to predict because you've got two men that are big, strong, and they can take a punch. Both of them can take heavy punches which normally would knock another heavyweight out. However, they take them very well. And also both of them have very powerful, left hooks, right hooks, and you look at Joyce probably more so for the power. However, Joseph Parker has a lot of power, but he doesn't always let his hands go and show it. But as we saw in the last Chisora fight, he did start to show it more, so it makes it really interesting and definitely 50-50. However, if we look at some of the stats, such as like the age and everything, Joseph Parker is 30 years of age and Joyce is 37, so that's actually a 7-year difference. Joyce is 6'6" and Joseph Parker is 6'4", so not much in that really. And then going down to Parker's record, 32 fights, 30 wins, 21 wins by knockout, and only 2 losses. Joseph Parker, very inexperienced as a professional, however very experienced as an amateur, doing the amateur fights and the Olympic boxing, so that high level and still a lot of rounds, also so much sparring as well. However, in the pro game, 14 fights, 14 wins, 13 by KO, so it just shows you most of his fights except one have been won by knockout, and he's had 0 losses. He's someone that is very hard to imagine or see being knocked out. It's very hard for me to look at this fight and see Joyce being knocked out. It's very hard also to see Parker getting knocked out. However, let's just go down here now and have a look at some of the stats. Now, when you look at Joyce's opponents, on his opponents, Dubois, a very good opponent because most people thought Dubois would win, but Joyce beat him. Takam's a very good opponent. Christian Hammer is also a very good opponent in terms of big heavyweights that bring war and everything like that. Especially Takam is a very hard fight for anyone. Then looking at Joseph Parker, he's had very hard fights. He's gone up against Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte, and when you think about it, he lost to Anthony Joshua and then he lost to Dillian Whyte, one after another, but he went 12 rounds with both of them. And Dillian Whyte had knocked many people out with the left hook. Anthony Joshua, with his powerful right hand, had knocked many people out. However, Parker took their best punches. So it just shows you the character and the strength of both Parker and both Joyce. However, what I think is, as the fight goes on, it'll be a war. Both of them heavy shots, both of them have taken heavy shots, leaning and clinching, heavy shots, retreating, leaning and clinching again. I do believe that both men will have times in the fight where they're very stunned and they've been hit badly, and then in the late rounds, maybe I will go with round 10. This is very hard. This is probably one of the hardest predictions that I have made. I'm going to say Joyce wins in the 10th round by knockout. Now, this is a knockout that will come after sustained pressure, and just because Joyce has better stamina and Joyce has more energy at the end of the fight, and Parker is tiring and has been taking heavy shots, and I think just at the end it could be a combination of a couple of uppercuts, a right hook, then an uppercut, but it's going to be a combination from Joyce, and I do believe Joyce wins in the 10th round by knockout. However, that's my prediction there. I'm not giving another prediction, but let's say in an alternative light, what would it be like if it went 12 rounds? Definitely Parker. Parker wins on points and Joyce wins by knockout, depending on which ways it goes. So I'm going for that prediction. Do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. This is a very hard fight to predict.